Hi everyone, Josie here, Life at 50 and Beyond. Thanks for joining me here in my channel, where you will find mostly affordable, practical, and easy DIYs. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe and don't forget to click that notification bell icon so that you will not miss any of my new uploads. Today I have 4 Dollar Tree DIY spring decor that you can use to decorate your home, and if you are getting married or know somebody who's getting married, as wedding decorations. For my first DIY, I will be using this glass candlestick holder that I got at Dollar Tree. And then I'm also going to be using one terrarium globe or globe terrarium made of acrylic plastic. I'm also going to be using my hot glue gun and of course some glue sticks and reinforcing with either E6000 or Fix All. Fix All is just like E6000, and the good thing about Fix All adhesive, you can get that also at Dollar Tree, and it is as strong as E6000. I'm also going to be using this succulent from Dollar Tree. They do come in different sizes and style, so I chose the one that has a little bit more volume or leaves on it, and I'm just removing it from the pot that it came with. And I'm going to be using this as my main plant in my terrarium planter. I'm going to go ahead and cut the bottom part, the stem, using my hot glue gun. You can also use your Fix All if you want to, but I'm just using hot glue because I'm thinking I may want to change it, and Fix All is kind of hard to remove. It gives you a more permanent hold, so I'm just using hot glue to attach my succulents at the bottom center part of my terrarium globe planter, like so. I am positioning the succulents in a way that it's angled so that whenever I am facing the globe, I can see all the leaves instead of the succulents standing up. And in my opinion, it's a better view of the succulents, but if you're doing or making this DIY, do whatever you like. You can position it either sideways or also standing right up. But like I said, I prefer it this way so that I can see it from the hole. I am going to be adding strings. I'm going to be wrapping the string around the opening just to give it a little bit more interest. If you have seen my other video where I used it as a hanging lantern, I also decorated the opening, but I used the diamond wrapped ribbon from Dollar Tree. So if you are into glam, you can go ahead and do it that way, but since I'm making this in a farmhouse style, I'm using twines that I also got at Dollar Tree. Not only am I embellishing the front, but I'm also covering that hanging hole there on the top, and I'm going to cover it and kind of creating some sort of a stem on the top. But if you want to leave it and probably just put a simple ribbon or maybe tie the twine in a bow and leaving the hole there, if you feel like you want to hang it also, go ahead and do so. But I feel like wrapping it all around to give it more interest or depth, making it more rustic. I am creating a simple bow using this twine. I'm just wrapping it around several times and then tying the center, and then I'm going to be connecting it onto the front of the stem that I created, like so. Then I'm leaving some strands down to give it a little bit more interest, and if I want to label it, I will go ahead and hang it there. Now I'm using the Fix All because you cannot just use hot glue unless you have the durable glue sticks. I think Gorilla glue sticks are really strong, unlike the regular glue sticks, and I do have the regular glue sticks, so I needed the Fix All adhesive. And then what I'm doing is I'm also going to dab some hot glue because the Fix All will not dry fast unlike hot glue, so I'm just putting dabs in different places where the Fix All didn't touch, so that I have a good combination. The hot glue will dry fast while the fix-all is curing. And then I'm just going to be attaching the bottom of the globe terrarium to the top of the candlestick holder. Next, I am going to be adding some twine here at the bottom just to keep the theme, and I've chosen to add the twine at the bottom part, not at the middle part of the candlestick. I feel like it's much better that way. You can opt to wrap it all around, but I'm not going to do that. I just want to also show the glass since the terrarium is also clear. So I'm just cutting it, and then I'm just going to do a little bit of cleanup here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to be using some white pebbles, and I'm going to be placing the pebbles underneath the succulents. And I got these stones or decorative accents from Dollar Tree as well. Can you imagine that? I don't think you can get any cheaper than that. So I'm just putting a handful and just carefully adding them to the bottom part of my terrarium, just to give it more depth, and that finishes off my terrarium succulent centerpiece. So imagine this as a wedding centerpiece. Create several of this, perhaps alternate succulents and then those LED votive candles or tea light candles that you can get at Dollar Tree, and then line up a rectangular table with all of this on top, and that will give it a romantic yet farmhouse feel. And you can also give this as a favor for weddings. For my next DIY, I am going to be using this empty jar that I got at Dollar Tree. It came with a lid, but since I'm not using it, I removed it. And also I'm going to be using some roses to decorate it. Now I'm going to be using this artist paintbrush to paint my glass jar. Now I got this 20-piece acrylic paint from Arteza, and I'm gonna try using this hue here because I love this color a lot. This is Persian green A240, and what I like about this acrylic paints, they are outdoor paints as well. So if you want to paint something that you were going to use outdoors, let's say you are going to decorate your porch or your backyard, or for spring wedding you are decorating outside, and sometimes there are spring showers, so at least with the outdoor paint the color will not fade away easily, whether it's due to rain showers or water, or if you're having a beach theme wedding, the harsh sun also outdoors will not harm this paint because it's made for outdoors. So as you could see, I'm painting the glass just directly without any other prep work. I am just going to be putting in at least 2 coats. So I'm just going to paint it with my first coat and then let it dry, and then I am going to go ahead and apply my second coat of paint. And I'm also painting the neck of the jar. I'm just going to let it dry for an hour or 2. Meanwhile, I am just going to prepare my flowers. I'm going to be cutting the stems around probably 4.5 or 5 inches long to give them enough height so that they will fit in the jar, and just the flowers and the leaves sticking out. So to give it a fuller look, I'm pushing the leaves all the way to where the flowers are, and then I am cutting the bottom part. And if you're wondering, I'm just using this kitchen shears or scissors that I got at Dollar Tree. I've had this for over 2 years now, and it's still sharp, and it cuts through wires. So if you don't have a wire cutter, you can use that. After the paint of my jar has dried up, I am going to be adding this twine around the neck or this mouth opening of my glass jar. So I'm just cutting a yard to a yard and a half of twine, and then I'm just going to wind it around the neck of the jar like so. And then I'm going to go ahead and add my flowers, and it's just going to be a simple way of putting all the flowers in, just bunching them up. I'm not even using an oasis or a foam. I'm just putting them inside. As you can see, I'm even bending the bottom because I realized that I wanted it a little bit lower so that it's just the flowers that are showing up. No part of the stems are. And I'm done with this DIY. See how simple it is? It'll make a good centerpiece at home. Now for the next DIY, I'll be creating these 4 coasters that you can use at home, as well as great for favors for weddings. I am going to be using 4 wood slices. I got this box of 25 wood slices of natural pine wood. I got them from Arteza. If you're interested, I am going to be linking in the description box below where you can get this. Full disclosure, I got this box and the box of paint that I showed earlier from Arteza for free for me to try. And I'm going to be using them to create my coasters. I like that they are already sanded, and it includes the bark, so it's so rustic. It will go well in a farmhouse home decor or even a wedding decor, because I'm kind of hitting 2 birds with 1 stone in this video, just addressing also some requests for wedding DIYs. So these are real pine wood, and I love the smell of pine. And this one would make perfect wedding favors, like I said, or mementos. I'm going to leave it in its natural state, meaning I'm not going to paint any of them, not even the top or the underside, because I really like for the wood grain to show. I'm just showing you here that aside from coaster, you can use it as a candle holder. Like for example, this LED candle that I got at Dollar Tree, and this has been used on several of my projects. That's why you could see it has some glue residue at the bottom, and it's a little dusty too. And you can also use real candles, provided that they are in a glass jar or container, to avoid fire. So don't use it directly here. Safety first. I'm going to be using these stickers or wall decals from Dollar Tree. I'm going to pick out the sizes that will fit just right in the middle. So I'm going to be avoiding butterflies like as big as that one, the yellow one. But if you want to, go ahead and do so. But I want a lot of the grain to show. So that's why I'm going to pick out the 4 small butterflies, and I'm just going to place them at the center. To protect my coasters from water damage, I'm going to be applying Mod Podge on top of my coasters and even at the bottom part of my coaster, just so I could clean it up and wipe it clean every time after using. So I'm just going to be applying around a couple of coats and let it dry in between coats, just to protect the wood as well as the stickers. As you can see here, I'm applying more Mod Podge at the bottom part as well. And also the portion where there are barks on the side, so I'm just going to put also Mod Podge there. And you know, Mod Podge dries clear, so don't worry about those white streaks. In case you are not familiar with Mod Podge, it does dry clear. And here are the finished coasters. I love how they turned out. You can imprint monogram or initials as well as the date to commemorate the day if you want to use it as a wedding favor. And for my last DIY, I would like to include this flashback of one of my favorite DIYs. I made this back in spring 2018. This has been recreated by many of you, and thank you for sending me your photos and also your feedback on Facebook and Instagram. I have decided to include it here because I have gained new subscribers, so I figured maybe they want to see this as well. And even if you've seen this before, you might want to see it again and probably rekindle the memories. Anyway, this was my first plastic garden fence project, so I would need just one panel for this project that you can get at Dollar Tree. So I'm flipping over the fence on the reverse or the back side, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to be cutting 1 to 2 inches from the bottom of each section. So I'm going to be creating slits on each section. So I'm just going to be using my sharp pair of scissors. You can use the Dollar Tree scissors that they sell at the kitchen aisle, their kitchen scissors. That's very sharp. I'm listing here other options that you may be able to use to cut the plastic garden fence. As you can see here, I'm trying to bend each section. Just be very careful because as you can see, I snapped one of them, so just be very careful. Using my utility knife or my box cutter, I am cutting the 3 legs or spikes, and then I'm going to set them aside because I'm going to be using them towards the end. As you can see, I am just scoring it maybe 3 times and then snapping the ends, and voila. I'm going to go ahead and connect the ends like so. And then I'm going to also connect or mend the portion that I have snapped earlier or broke when I was trying to bend the section. Now, to prevent this from happening, you can use heat tool or hair blower or anything with heat. You can even soak it in hot water so it doesn't snap. Again, this was my first try, so I wasn't able to do that. You learn as you go. Put some E6000 later. Next, I'll be using these zip ties that I got from the Dollar Tree as well to help in connecting and bending the top of this lantern slash bird cage. So as you can see, first I am going to try to bend it towards the inside, all 4 sections, but I am going to be connecting them. I think 2 at a time would be perfect. There's 2 sections there on each edge. I will try to connect them that way. Okay, using my zip tie. A lot of times they may not be enough to hold, especially if what you're holding is kind of trying to fight back like this one. So I will also be using glue, my hot glue, in order to keep the zip ties in place. And again, to make it easy and bendable, make sure that you kind of use some form of heat, like I mentioned earlier. Even soaking in hot water for a few minutes will help you kind of mold it easier. Okay, so what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to pull up the zip tie as high as possible so that the top will be a little bit more domed or bent, And I am putting or applying some of the hot glue here underneath this zip tie, and I'll do that in all 4 sections here, 4 corners. If you prefer, you can double up on the zip ties as well, because you're going to be able to camouflage that later with your decorations or with paint. So what I'm doing here is just tightening it up, and then I am going to be trimming each of the zip tie using my wire cutter. I prefer the wire cutter because it is sharper than my scissors, but you can use the scissors as well. So I am just doing some of the finishing touches here, making sure that this portion here is tight and secure, and I have the dome effect that I am satisfied with. So here it is now with a little bit more dome on the top, and it has taken the shape that I like. Next, I'll be using my craft or acrylic paint, and I'm going to be adding some kind of a distressed finish here, like it's a weathered look. So I'm just using my sponge, or you can use also paintbrush, and just paint over it. Doesn't have to be perfect because this is going to be a weathered look, giving it an appearance of a real wrought iron where the paint is peeling off. So it's rustic and it's distressed or weathered look. I like it. So just use sponge or paint brushes, nothing fancy. Again, no particular technique here. I'm also painting the 3 pieces of stakes or spikes that I have cut earlier, and like I mentioned, I am going to be attaching them to the top. I'm doing it in a way that I am alternating the positioning of each spike. As you notice, I'm not putting them in the same direction. This way it's more balanced, and it makes it more interesting doing it that way. So here's my structure. I'm just going to be embellishing it with some decorations, first with some spring flowers. And I got all of this at Dollar Tree. So what I'm doing here is I'm just placing it on the left side, making it kind of like asymmetrical, and then I'm camouflaging the plastic stem with more flowers, hydrangea and as well as peonies. Then I got this fake bird from Dollar Tree as well, and I am going to be putting it on one of the branches or stems to make it look like it's perching on top of it. So that's done. I love how this one turned out. Again, like I mentioned earlier, it is one of my favorite DIYs, my all-time favorite. I've made several of this and I have gifted them to my friends and loved ones. And aside from using it as a home decor or centerpiece at home, it makes a great centerpiece also for weddings. So if you're in a tight budget and you are a bride, or you know of someone who's getting married and who is also in a tight budget and they like farmhouse or rustic look, this one would work well. Just kind of mix the faux flowers with the fresh ones and it'll be just perfect for the occasion. As you can see on the photo collage here, and this one photo here where I placed it on top of a wedding card box that I have also DIY'd, and I'm going to be inserting an iCard on the upper right hand corner if you want to watch that video. That's it, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. It helps me in coming up with ideas and solutions and in creating more contents here on my channel. And if you're new to my channel, again, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell icon so that you will not miss any of my new uploads. And let me know in the comment section down below which one is your favorite, and are you ready for spring? I know it's still a month and a half away. Have a great day, everyone, and I'll talk to you again on my next video. Take care and God bless. Bye-bye!